So here's something nobody puts into the Wisconsin tourism brochure. There are at least 12 towns in this state that just straight up got deleted. Not abandoned slowly, not faded away like some sad country song. Deleted. Some got drowned by the government. Some got wiped out by a disease in like a weekend. And at least one was killed by a hype man with a railroad scheme that made WeWork look responsible. We're going through all 12 of them today, and I promise you, every single one has a twist that's weirder than the last. Number 1, Pundarvis. Picture this. A bunch of Cornish miners cross an entire ocean, show up in Wisconsin, and just start pulling load out of the ground like it's nothing. And it really was nothing at first, because the ore was right there on the surface. Easy money. So they built stone cottages, opened up shops, and basically tried to rebuild England in the middle of Wisconsin prairie. But here's the catch. The easy ore ran out, and when it did, the whole pitch fell apart overnight. The miners who stayed had to dig deeper and spend more to get less. Classic startup burn rate, except the product is lead. Then California started advertising gold, and Pundarvis emptied out so fast it'd make your head spin. The stone cottages, they just sat there, empty for nearly 100 years. Let that sink in. Number 2, Helena. What if the government just showed up one day and said, "Hey, cool town you built here. We're going to need you to leave because we're flooding all of it." Not a metaphor. That's literally what happened to Helena. This was a real working town on the Wisconsin River. On the river. Mills, homes, people going about their lives since the early 1800s. Nothing glamorous, but it did work. Then the Army Corps of engineers showed up. No negotiation, no alternatives. Water levels were going up, and Helena, well, it was in the way. Residents could move their belongings or lose them. Most of them lost them. Number 3, Dover. So imagine someone pitches you a can't-miss investment. Streets are already laid out. Lots already selling. The whole thing is basically preloaded with hype. It's Dover, Racine County. Dover, Racine County, 1830s. A town built entirely on one bet, that a major railroad was coming through. The railroad did not come through. It went somewhere else. And in the 1800s, when the railroad skips your town, you cannot pivot. You cannot rebrand. You just stop existing as an economic unit. Every business that set up shop in anticipation of rail traffic had zero reason to stay. Now let's look at number 4, Cooksville. Most ghost towns disappear. Cooksville just stopped. Like someone hit pause in 1870 and no one ever came back to press play. Rock County, and the place actually still exists. Buildings and everything are still there. The foundations came in 1840s with a real plan. Mill, tavern, church, school, all the right pieces. But the railroads went through Jensville and Beloit, not Cooksville. And that was basically the whole ball game right there. So the people who stayed just farmed. No new businesses came in. Nothing got torn down to build something newer. Decade after decade, the town just looked exactly the same. Now let's check out number 5, Port Alao. Imagine building your whole town around one product. And then that product, well, it becomes completely useless in like 15 years. That's Port Alao, gone before anyone even knew it had hit. Ozaukee County, 1840s, right on Lake Michigan. The town had a pier, real commercial activity, and a booming cordwood trade. Every steamship on the lake needed wood to run, and Port Elaho was out there basically operating as a gas station of Lake Michigan. Business was good. But here's the catch. Steamships switched to coal. Fast. And just like that, the entire reason Port Elaho existed evaporated. The pier was still there. The buildings were still there. The customers just never came back. Now let's look at number 6. Winniconi. Ghost district. Most towns die because something external kills them. A flood, a railroad, a disease. Winnicone's story is different, and I'm genuinely not ready to explain how different. Winnebago County in 1967. The state of Wisconsin published its official highway map and just forgot Winnicone existed. Completely let it off. The whole town gone from the map like it never happened. So Winnicone did the most unhinged thing possible. They declared themselves an independent republic on July 10th, elected a president, and basically told Wisconsin to come deal with it. Wisconsin blinked first. The town was back on the map within days. Number 7, Eerie. No explosion, no flood, no government letter telling you to pack your stuff. Eerie just kind of stopped breathing. That's it. That's the whole disaster. Kewaunee County, mid-1800s. Belgian immigrants came over, cleared land, built farms and planted a Catholic church right in the middle of everything. And that church was the heartbeat of the whole community. But here's what no one tells you. Every generation, a few more kids left. Cities, factory jobs, and anything that wasn't farming, slow and steady until the customers for every shop and service just weren't there anymore. Now number 8, base settlement. There's a type of ghost town death that's way more common than floods and fires, and nobody talks about it. Getting absorbed, not wiped out, just slowly swallowed by a bigger neighbour until you stop being a thing. No one decided to kill base settlement, it just stopped mattering. The name survived on road signs, but the actual community, the thing that made it a place, well, it got eaten alive. And number 9 is Ocean Wave. Ocean Wave, Wisconsin. First of all, that name is incredible for a town that's nowhere near any ocean. Like, who approved that? Second of all, the way this place died is exactly as chaotic as the name suggests. But here's the catch. Logging towns have a very short life cycle. You cut the trees run out, and everyone leaves. Simple as that. The actual site today is just trees again. The forest that Ocean Wave existed to destroy came back and swallowed the whole thing whole. Not even a foundation left. Number 10 is Foster City. And Foster City is basically the ghost town equivalent of a band that dropped one album, got a little buzz, and broke up before recording a second one. Except the album was iron ore, and the breakup was economic reality hitting like a freight train. Langlade County, northern Wisconsin, in the late 1800s, the investors came in hot, named it like a city, platted it like a city, fully commuted to the bit. Post offices, school, commercial buildings. For a minute, it actually looked like it might work. Number 11 is Kirby. Kirby, Rusk County, perfectly functional town, completely gone. Not mostly gone, not ruins and foundations gone, just gone. Here's how it worked. Sawmill goes in, workers show up, families follow, a little community forms around the whole operation. Normal pattern for northern Wisconsin in the late 1800s. Looked totally fine from the outside. The forest grew back over Kirkby so completely you'd never know anything was there. And let's look at number 12, Hawkins. ghost settlement, okay? So, railroads, dams, bad geology, getting swallowed by the bigger neighbours. We've covered all of it, but this last one is different. This one is going to stick. Picture a settlement along the Mississippi with real ambition, ports and hotels, commercial buildings, populations pushing towards 1,000 people. John Plum was out there petitioning Congress for a transcontinental railroad. The energy was completely real. But here's what nobody tells you. They left a 2-story stone hotel standing, a spring-fed water system still running underneath it, an entire street grid just sitting there empty. Let me know what you think about this content in the comment section below. And please, if I can suggest a free, easy way to help me continue making this content, you've gotten this far, so please. There's 98% of you watch the videos but aren't subscribers. So please help me out and hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you on the next one.